Hey guys, welcome to the episodes Be College Bound with Ivy Bound. I'm your host, Ruchi Escotari. I'm super excited that you've joined me. Be College Bound with Ivy Bound is a series designed for people like you, high schoolers, and their parents, where I advise, guide, and support you through your college admissions journey, offering you admissions tips, tricks, and secrets to stand out and present your best self on your college applications. These strategies are easy to implement, yet very impactful, helping you to get admitted into the college of your dreams and create a future that you would love. Do you want to get into your dream school? Of course you do. Well, stay tuned. This is my very first episode, and what an amazing way to start out the year. There's something to say about the beginning of a new year as we all start fresh with a clean slate. Keeping that in mind, our very first episode is about your 2020 goal setting and planning for the year. This is a good one, a good exercise that you and your child should do every January and again in August or September when it is the start of a new school year. Revisiting your academic and personal goals keeps you on track and prevents you from missing out on important milestones or deadlines, such as taking standardized tests like the SAT, ACT, APs, or the IB exams. And at the end of each episode, I offer live office hours with myself, Ruchi Escotari, where I answer 3 college admissions questions that high schoolers or their parents post. Today, I will be answering the following questions. 1, is it better to get a B in an AP class or an A in an honors or regular class? 2, what's a healthy number of colleges on your college list? 3, my mailbox has been inundated by mail from colleges, including those from the Ivies. Is that an indicator of my daughter's chances of getting admitted into those colleges? So if you have any college admissions questions, please leave it in the comment box so I can answer it next time. I'm so thrilled to help you in any which way I can. Just so you know, every other week I release an episode as a podcast, and the following week, the same episode as a YouTube video. So I encourage you to go check it out if you need a visual example of the topic being discussed. You can find my YouTube channel by searching up Ivy Bound Consulting. That's 2 words in YouTube, Ivy Bound Consulting. Feel free to check out all of my podcasting videos. And please don't forget to subscribe to the Be College Bound with Ivy Bound podcast and YouTube series and leave me a review in the comments. Thanks so much. I just wanted to give a quick shout out to all the parents who are listening right now, because I get you and all that we do to keep our children constantly nourished, happy, and safe. I can even bet some of you are probably driving your children around, shuttling them from one class to another. I hear ya. So download my podcast series, and when you're on the go, keep listening. You might pick up some quick and effective college admissions tips, tricks, and secrets. Take what you want and leave the rest. And all the high schoolers who've tuned in, a quick shout out to you as well. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to listen to my podcast series or watch the series on YouTube. Choose a platform that works best for you to pick up quick and effective college admissions tips, tricks, and secrets to help you stand out and create winning college applications. Take what you want, share it with your friends, and leave the rest. Today's episode is sponsored by Ivy Bound Consulting, a college admissions company that I created with my life's mission in mind to help each and every student of mine to get admitted to the college of their dreams. You can say this is my calling, and I can't even tell you the delight I feel when I hear about my students pursuing their interest or excelling in their academic area, or better yet, getting into the colleges of their choice. You can say anything and everything about education lights me up, from the quality and type of education, the comprehensiveness of curriculum, the best educators chosen, and the safety of our children have attracted me to this field. I am currently serving on my town's Board of Education for the second term. I'm an alumni interviewer of Northwestern and a member of the Professional Organization of Independent Educational Consultants of America. As I bring massive clarity and integrity into the college admissions process, I have helped many high schoolers through their journey with the products and services offered at ivyboundconsulting.com, and I hope to help countless more. On a personal level, I'm a proud mother of 3, a high school junior, an incoming high school freshman, and a 5th grader. Gosh, I love them to death. They are my pride and joy. During my episodes, you'll be hearing a lot about my high schoolers and their college admissions journey. You'll hear about the ups, the downs, and everything in between. Okay, let's get started with your goals for 2020. I created this interactive bonus just for you. It's called your 2020 Goal Setting and Planning Ivy Bound Sheet. The link to this PDF is provided in my show notes for this episode. You can find it at ivyboundconsulting.com/001. No need to frantically take notes. I've got you covered. Download the transcript and your 2020 Goal Setting and Planning Ivy Bound Sheet and just follow along. What can I say? I'm a big proponent of calendars, goal setting, and planning ahead. In the college admissions journey, believe me, planning and preparing for all the deliverable action items needed for your college applications are so important. Real quick, let me tell you about some of these deliverable action items. They are your grades and the academic coursework that you are taking, standardized test scores, which does require some pre-planning and, of course, plenty of time to study, your extracurricular activities, which include sports, how do you spend your summers, and, of course, your essays in your college applications. Don't worry, in upcoming episodes, I'll delve deeper on how you can strengthen each and every component that is needed in your college applications so that admissions officers are wowed by your applications at the get-go and you're admitted to the colleges of your choice. Some vital and pretty cool stuff, right? Okay, getting back to the topic at hand, your 2020 goal setting and planning. I honestly believe when you write it down and you are intentional with your goals, you take action and you just make it happen. Trust me, this really works. All my students swear by this exercise. In fact, when they complete their goal setting and planning, they send me a screenshot of themselves with their completed document and share it on their stories along with their biggest takeaway. I'd be thrilled if you'd like to do the same. So take a screenshot of yourself with the completed document, share it on your stories. Don't forget to tag me at Ivybound Consulting with the hashtag at Ivybound Consulting Podcast or hashtag Ivybound Consulting YouTube video. I can't wait to see them. Moving right along, you can use this worksheet in 2 ways. If you're old school like me, print it out, grab a pen, and complete the questions. Or you may just start typing your responses in this interactive worksheet and then print it out later. Whichever method you choose, do what works best for you. When I created this invaluable document, I took it to my daughter in hopes to complete it together. Maybe even making a family activity out of it, where we sip hot chocolate, talk about future goals and dreams, and everything would be peachy cream. Earth to Ruchi, please get a reality check. My daughter is a junior in high school. By the way, to respect my daughter's privacy, I won't be mentioning her name, but I'll be talking a whole lot about her and her college admissions journey. So where was I? Yes, my daughter is a junior in high school and she's in the crux of studying for the ACT, SAT subject tests, and the APs. She's way too busy to set goals, let alone plan out her whole year. The furthest she plans is the week ahead to finish up her school assignments or study for tests. And honestly, she could care less about goal setting and planning. Does this sound like you or your child? I get ya. So when I gave my daughter this goal-setting worksheet, she looked at me and said, "You gotta be kidding me, Mom. You know me. I hate agendas, calendars, and anything that has to do with dates." Anticipating this reaction, I just left the goal-setting document on her desk and said, "Take a quick look when you have the time. No pressure at all to fill it out." The next day, I went into her room, and to my surprise, she had not only completed the worksheet with multiple colored pens, she had taped it to her wall. What a treat for my eyes. Later, she gave me a huge hug, thanked me, and went along her business. I absolutely love and cherish those hugs whenever I receive them. So parents, if your child is like my daughter who hates planning, do what I did. Leave it on their desk and give them no pressure to complete the document. Or maybe, if they're more receptive to it, you can make it an activity that both you can do together. Wouldn't that be fun to set goals and plan for the year together? Yay! Okay, let's dive into this worksheet. If you have it with you, you can follow along. And if you're driving or can't get to it right now, that's totally okay. Just listen along and download it later from the show notes for this episode at ivyboundconsulting.com/001. The purpose of this worksheet is for you to see your entire year ahead and be able to plan, prepare ahead of time so that you aren't thrown a curveball. As a high schooler, many steps like completing your standardized tests on time, as you know, are critical components of your applications. Use this step-by-step guide to help you through your college admissions journey at whatever stage you might be. Let yourself enjoy this process and keep your mind open to all the possibilities you have. Looking at your 2020 goal setting and planning Ivy Bound sheet, there are 9 questions to answer. Some are self-explanatory, others may require some thought or some time for you to figure out dates. Let me quickly run through them. Then I'm going to go into each question in more detail, giving you some admissions tips, tricks, or secrets along the way, making this the best goal setting and planning activity you've ever done. Pretty cool, right? The questions in this document that I ask you are: 1, your year in high school, going into what year in August or September? 2, your goals for your academics, extracurricular activities, sports, arts, music, or any other activity that I might have missed. 3, your testing goals. 4, challenges that you are facing and the solutions you can think of. 5, the people you can go to for academic and emotional support. 6, milestones or achievements that you are celebrating. I love this one. 7, your personal goals. 8, things you like to do to relax when you get stressed. 9, planning out your vacation or downtime so that you can unwind, have fun, and really enjoy your life. I love it. Okay, let's start with question 1. Question number 1, year in high school, going into what year in August or September? This question is a no-brainer. Please write down the year you or your child is in high school and the year he or she will enter when the new school year starts. This is usually August or September in the US. All my international subscribers, it may be another start date for you, but you know what I'm getting at. I would complete this question by writing something like this: my daughter is a junior going into her senior year. Wow, that's the home stretch for me, with completing applications in the fall of this year. It's a big year for my daughter and us, requiring lots of planning and preparing ahead of time. No worries, we're in it together. Another reason I suggest goal setting in January and again when the new school year starts is because it gives the student and his or her parents a time to rethink and revisit goals, while removing some, adding new ones, and of course, celebrating the ones that you have completed. More importantly, it also prevents you from writing your goals for the year and then just forgetting about them as the year goes on, and finally reaching a point where you wonder if you ever wrote goals. Do you follow me? Does this happen to you? Moving along to question 2. Question 2. My goal is to put 100% of myself in my academics, extracurricular activities, sports, arts, music, or an activity that I might have missed. So this question requires you to delve deep and think about what academic classes you are taking at school or even outside of school. Write down how you may improve specifically in a particular course. The example that I have listed is how you might want to consider writing your goals. For example, my example is, my goal is to put 100% in studying for math tests in Calculus AB ahead of time and striving for an A in the class. Remember, the more specific you are, the better you will reach your goals. If you need to pause this podcast or the YouTube video, please do so and consider your goals for the year. So continue with your goals with your extracurricular activities. I provide you with 3 boxes to enter your goals for your specific activity. I know for many of you, this might not be enough. So you can combine the extracurricular activities or enter one in the section H of this question specified as other. Please continue to enter any sports that you may play or enter the arts like painting or theater or music like the choir or the band that you may be involved in. Think about the goals you might have for each activity. Write it down and make it happen. For instance, you might write your goal is to practice the piano for 4 hours every week at home. Again, in order for you to best implement your goals, be specific in naming the activities and the actions that you will take to achieve your desired goal. Okay, this is really important, so I'm going to repeat it again. Be specific in naming the activities and the actions you will take to achieve your desired goal. Finally, if I've missed an amazing thing that you do, write it down in section H, other. I know you or your child does something pretty amazing. I can't tell you how many smart and talented young individuals I meet in my profession. I am literally blown away by their achievements and accomplishments at such an early age. So a shout out to all my young listeners and viewers. Okay, on to question 3. This is a big one, so if you're multitasking, please come back to me. Question 3, my testing goals. This is really important and may require several sittings, meaning you may have to have a discussion with your family and come back to this table to enter the dates that you are taking a particular standardized test. Let's look at this easy-to-use table that I've created for you. For your convenience, I've created a drop-down option for the SAT or the ACT, which is the first 2 rows of the table. The next 4 rows are for you to choose a SAT subject test. Again, I offer you a drop-down where you may select one of the 20 SAT subject tests offered. I just wanted to just give you a disclaimer here. You are by no means required to take 4 SAT subject tests. Many colleges, like Johns Hopkins, Vanderbilt, or the University of Virginia, have made subject tests optional. So I highly recommend you to go to the college website to find out whether or not the SAT subject tests are required and which ones are they. That's your safest bet as requirements are constantly changing. A quick tidbit for you. If you are applying to a STEM field, you are usually asked to take the Math Level 2 exam and a science subject test. That being said, I always recommend my students to take 2 SAT subject tests if it isn't a financial burden for you. Okay, listen up. I have an admissions tip for you. I strongly recommend all of my students to take the Math Level 2 subject test, as it is usually a requirement for most STEM and business majors. More importantly, the reason I recommend Math Level 2 is because this test has the biggest curve, which means you can miss the most amount of questions and still get a perfect score of 800. Isn't that cool? Okay, so for those of you who aren't a math person, I totally get you. So don't fret. There are plenty of humanities-related SAT subject tests to study for. So go ahead, schedule in your SAT subject tests if the colleges that you are applying to recommend or require them. I have another admissions tip for you. When the colleges write recommended for a standardized test, that technically signifies required. So save yourself from having your applications denied because you didn't take the test they suggested or recommended you take. Schedule the test on this table, plan your study time, and then take it. Good luck. Likewise, schedule the dates for your AP or IB exams or any other tests you may be taking for college admissions. Here, I give you the option of entering the specific test you are taking. For example, if you're taking AP Chemistry, type that in and enter the date the test is scheduled for. To make it easier for you, I created a 2020 standardized testing dates and deadlines worksheet with all the testing dates for the ACT, SAT, SAT subject tests, and AP exams in one document. You may find the link to the 2020 standardized testing dates and deadlines Ivy-bound sheet in the show notes of this episode at ivyboundconsulting.com/001. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Now you don't need to search up or Google exam dates and their registration deadlines. Just download this document and print it out. Keep it handy so you don't miss a deadline. Moving right along, you'll find this table gives you an option of Other as a field where you may enter multiple SAT subject tests, APs, or IB exams you may be taking. I also included the Other field for my international students who may have to take the TOEFL, IELTS, or the DET exam as requirements for their college applications process. Again, I would advise the international students to refer to the college website to get the most up-to-date testing requirements. Go ahead and enter all the tests you will be taking for 2020 and their scheduled test dates. If you notice, you can enter 3 possible dates to take the test in this table. You don't need to take the test 3 times. I just wanted to provide you the space in the chart, but more importantly, for you to think about scheduling test dates multiple times in the year. Just so you know, students on average take the tests 3 times to get their best results. Anything more usually has a point of diminishing returns, meaning that not much improvement is made. When thinking about taking the SAT for the 4th time, it may be best to use your time more wisely, like focusing more on a class or an extracurricular activity that needs your attention. So think about it and then schedule it. I feel the last column, something that is overlooked, is the most important by far, scheduling in your study time. If you don't schedule it in, where in the world are you going to find the time to study? Don't skip this one. You have to think through how much studying time you may need for a particular test. I'm going to give you another admissions tip here. On average, it takes 8 to 12 weeks in between tests before you can see some improvement. That is, if you take 1 test a week plus studying time after that. There are students who cram in 8 to 12 tests in a month and then take the test the following month. Yes, that's my daughter for you. I guess to each one their own. You know how you study best, and how you need to make this happen. So schedule it in. You may need to come back to alter the schedule dates, which is completely fine. But scheduling it sets the wheel in motion and makes it real. Or at least it makes you realize you need to make some free time to study for standardized tests that you are taking this year. Okay, this last question was a doozy. Now let's move on to question 4. Question 4 are the challenges that I'm facing and the solutions I can think of. Many times a student is struggling, like in his English class, and doesn't know how to get the help or support he might need. Writing the challenges down makes it easier to find solutions. Trust me, write it all down. Then think of the solutions, like the writing center at your school, or asking a teacher for help, or even a family member. As and when challenges arise, I encourage you to write them down and think of all the possible solutions. Believe me, when you do this, the answer will show up. And if it doesn't, have a conversation with your parents, a teacher, or a friend. You may be surprised that they provide you with a solution that you didn't think of. Question 5 is an extension of question 4. In question 5, I want you to write the people that you can go for academic and emotional support. Noting down all the possible people you may go for to get support is empowering, making you feel that you can successfully tackle all challenges that may come your way. So go ahead, write down your supporters. You'd be amazed with how many people you come up with. Don't forget to enter each section. A, your parents. Now this one applies to the high school students. So write down your parents, your step-parents, or guardians that can be your support system. Section B, teachers. Start with your current teachers of the class that you're taking. Then note down all the teachers or teachers in a particular department that can help you when you are stuck. Section C, friends. Write down all the friends that you can go for academic or emotional support. It's nice to have dependable friends. Section D, family. Here, jot down other family members, like an aunt or a cousin, who you can ask for help. You'll never know when Uncle so-and-so, fill in the blank, may come in handy. Section E, other, is someone I may have forgotten to mention, maybe an employer, so write their name down. Doing this exercise not only helps you create a list of people you can ask for support, but on a higher level makes you feel that you are not alone in this journey. There are many people who would love to help you out, so ask them when you need to. Section F, last but not least, you can always contact me. I'm there to guide and support you through your college admissions journey. Reach out to me. DM me at Iviebound Consulting on Instagram or PM me at Iviebound Consulting on Facebook. So are you ready to talk about some fun stuff? Yes? Question 6 is a forgotten step, but it's my most favorite question because it talks about celebration. Question 6, milestones or achievements I will be celebrating this year are, I want you to write down a milestone or achievement you have or will achieve this year. Doesn't matter if it's big, small, or something in between. A milestone is a milestone. An achievement is an achievement. You gotta celebrate all your wins, big or small or anything in between. This is what keeps us going and wanting more. So go ahead, write down that you completed the 10-page science term paper, regardless of the grade you receive. It is an achievement. Also, note down your birthday if you're receiving your driver's license or if you will graduate high school this year. All things worth celebrating. Well, I don't know how your parents might feel about you driving, but that's a different conversation you and I can have. Okay, let's move on. Question 7 is another often forgotten step in the midst of tackling the challenges of high school. Question 7. My personal goals are. Go ahead, write or type in some personal goals you might have. Maybe you want to read a certain number of books, or go hiking, or compose music. Write it down, whatever you fancy, and take the time out of your busy schedule to do at least one of these this year. Believe me, it'll be so worth it to keep your mind, body, and spirit sound. I know I'm sounding a little spiritual here, but all three are needed for you to successfully navigate the college admissions journey and not burn out. Burnout is something I see all too often, and I don't want that for you, or for anyone for that matter. Question 8 is similar to question 7. However, here I want you to write all the things you can do now or that is readily available when you need to relax and de-stress. Question 8, write the things that you like to do to relax yourself when you get stressed. Write anything and everything you do to relax yourself, however simple or quirky it might be. Retort to your answers whenever you're feeling down, you're anxious or stressed, or just want some time to relax. What's the first thing that comes to your mind? For me, reading a book next to the fireplace or taking walks when the weather is warm are my ways to unwind. I live in New Jersey, so I don't get many warm days. I like to take advantage of them whenever possible. Finally, we've reached the last question. Believe me, it's the most fun of them all. Sit down with your family and plan some vacation or downtime. It doesn't need to be a big one. A few days to de-stress and enjoy things that you love with the people you love is more than enough to get you energized to trudge along your high school to college journey. Remember, we're in it for the long haul. So pace yourself by answering question 9. Question 9, plan out some vacation or downtime so that you can unwind, have fun, and enjoy your life. Use this table to plan out a few days here or there for vacation or downtime. I even suggest to some of my students, if they're using spring break or the summer for college visits, to add a day or two and make it a vacation. Don't you think that's clever? It definitely kills 2 birds with 1 stone. Okay, so there you have it. Wow, we've created and planned out your 2020 goals. You are now good for the whole year as you start your 2020 off right with planning ahead, ensuring that you are prepared to tackle any bumps on the road that may come your way. Remember, the key is to keep moving forward. Use your resources and reach out for help whenever needed. Go get 'em, Tiger! In hopes that you have a successful year ahead, I have a special gift for 3 listeners or viewers this week. The gift is a jumbo 2020 dry erase wall calendar, which includes 2 planners. One of them is the entire 2020 year in review calendar where you can write all your important dates. And the second one is a reversible monthly or weekly calendar. Isn't that something exciting? Okay, so I gotta tell you this. I got one for my daughter, and she cringed at the first look of this calendar. A response that I expected, but I was still disappointed, so I decided to use it for myself. But a few days later, when I was looking for the calendar, I found it taped to the wall of my daughter's room. With all her midterms, finals, the ACT test dates scheduled in. She also noted down her future college visits, summer camps, and of course, the trip she wants to take to Cambodia. I don't know when that's going to happen, but it's her dream to go to Cambodia. Maybe I have to think of it as a graduation gift for her next year. Let's see. I'm just thrilled that my daughter came around and multi-coded the calendar with important school dates, testing dates, and vacation times. Yay! Anyways, 3 lucky subscribers will win this cool gift. In order for you to win, you must 1. Screenshot yourself listening to this podcast or watching the YouTube video. 2. Share it on your stories along with your biggest takeaway. 3. Tag 3 friends. And 4, tag me at Iviebound Consulting with the hashtag Iviebound Consulting podcast or the hashtag Iviebound Consulting YouTube video. Results will be announced in next week's podcast. Okay, before we wrap up, let's have a quick office hour session with myself, Ruchi Escotari, where I end each episode with answering 3 real-time college admission questions. The first question is from Tejas from Fremont, California. He asks, is it better to get a B in an AP class or an A in an honors or a regular class? Hi, Tejas. That's a common question I get from many of my students. The answer to this question is not very straightforward. If your high school offers more weight to an AP class over an honors or an average class, I would suggest taking the AP class and settling for a B. However, Tejas, if you're applying to a highly selected college, maintaining your GPA is critical. So I highly recommend using all your resources if you're struggling to improve your grade. There are numerous resources out there. Refer back to the list of supporters you created in question 5 in your 2020 goal setting and planning Iviebound sheet, like your teachers, friends, or a family member. You can also seek tutoring or get help from online programs like Visant, Varsity Tutors, Khan Academy, or even Albert.io for AP help. Remember, there are plenty of resources out there. You just need to go find them. With that being said, if a certain AP class like AP Physics 2 is not your cup of tea and will give you anxiety, then take the class that is more manageable and that you get an A in that class. Hope I answered your question, Tejas. Okay, moving along to question 2. Question 2 is from Claudia from Phoenix, Arizona. Claudia asks, my son is a junior and we have started creating a college list. What's a healthy number of colleges that you should have on your list? Currently, we have 22. Hi, Claudia. I'm glad that you and your son started early with creating a college list. A shout out to you. Woohoo! This is a good start, but as you know, you and your son will have to go back and prune this list. Keep your options open. Assess what types of colleges you're looking at, whether it's a small, mid-sized, or large college. Spend spring break and the summers to do college visits. Research the ones you cannot travel to online by checking out the college's website and taking a virtual tour. A healthy and a manageable list should be 10 to 12 colleges. Remember, come fall, your son will need to write numerous supplemental essays of the colleges he decides to apply to. So let's say each college he decides to apply to has 2 supplemental essays, which is a pretty low number because many of the Ivies require you to write 4 to 8 small essays. And if you're applying to Stanford, that's 11 supplemental essays. Yes, 11 supplemental essays of various lengths. So let's go back to 2 supplemental essays times 12 colleges. That's 24 essays plus 1 main essay, also referred to as a personal statement. Now that you think about it, even 12 colleges are a lot. So Claudia, you're off to a good start. Come fall, I'd like you and your son to narrow your college list down to 10 to 12 colleges. Now reach out to me if you need more help pruning the list. Okay, on to the final question of the day. This one is from Jeff from Brooklyn, New York. Jeff says that his mailbox has been inundated by mail from colleges like the University of Chicago, NYU, and even the Ivies. Is this an indicator of my daughter's chances of getting admitted to these colleges? Hi, Jeff. That's a great question. Unfortunately, that's not the case. Colleges by students' names and their contact information from organizations like the College Board or the ACT. Then these colleges send us mailers as a way to promote their college. Nothing more. Remember, it is a business for the college to have as many students apply to their college. It increases their ratings and lowers the admissions rate. A college is also a business entity which needs millions, even billions of dollars to keep it running sufficiently each year. I'm sorry to say this, Jeff. It really is a numbers game. Okay, folks, that's all the time that we have for today. I'm thrilled that you tuned in to listen to the Be College Bound with Ivy Bound podcast or watch the YouTube video series. I have a lot of exciting episodes planned for the year. It's everything and anything under the sun about college admissions, so please subscribe and leave me a review. If you have a burning college admissions question that you want me to answer in the live office hours with Ruchi Escotari, then write the question in the comments below. Don't forget to join me next week where I discuss early admit rates for the class of 2024 and what's trending in college admissions for the year 2020. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and thanks so much for tuning in. I'm leaving you with something to think about. Make it your own. Your college admissions journey is unique to your experiences and circumstances. Use your intelligence and your talent, and yes, you have many of them, to make the best of your journey. So make it your own. Bye for now.